Edge is once again going to WrestleMania. Bianca Belair makes history, and all champions retain except the tag team women's champions. Hello, I'm Jared Never Sleeps, and this is your Wrestling Never Sleeps podcast, Royal Rumble review. It went down last night. People online are saying this is one of the greatest Royal Rumbles that they've ever put together on WWE, and it was a show that definitely had its highs and lows, I would say, in my opinion. We'll get right into it. We're going to start off with the opening match, which I think a lot of people in the IWC were really concerned about, usually because Goldberg has a streak of coming back and just destroying people on the main roster. The Fiend. Who else did he beat? He beat Dolph Ziggler, but I guess no one cares about. And he also got Kevin Owens a couple years ago. So the first match was Bill Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, and yeah, it was what you could expect out of a 50-something-year-old Goldberg match. Finisher fest. They kind of started off trying to make Drew McIntyre look a little bit weaker, so it made sense as far as the age difference, where he took a spear into one of the are they call it guardrails still, the padding to keep the virtual fans out of the ringside area. But that actually was, to me, a pretty scary spot, because if you watch the tape over again, there's like a piece of like a metal, like I think maybe it's a lighting something or something electrical, and had McIntyre been maybe like 3 inches, had he got speared like 3 inches to the right, he would have definitely like split his head open or got a concussion from that thing that was on the ground. So good thing he's still safe and sound. But yeah, it was a match that went maybe like 2-3 minutes. Again, what you can expect from a Bill Goldberg match in 2021. Drew got the victory, and at the end, Goldberg gives Drew McIntyre his respect. I'm glad that they kept the title back on. They kept the title on Drew McIntyre, because I think he's been doing a pretty good job as a champion. Considering the circumstances that we're in a whole pandemic, there's no fans. His whole title reign has been without fans, and he works hard. He has a good look. But I'm not sure if this is really the story that needed to be told. But Vince is the billionaire, and I'm not. So I guess I'm going to trust his judgment when it comes to getting people to buy into a pay-per-view. So I guess it was a good opening match. They didn't make the mistake of the booking. The right guy won. And I'm interested to see who McIntyre is going to face at WrestleMania. What type of feuds we're going to see going into this, because I think the Raw roster really seems like who do you guys think would be a good WrestleMania opponent for Drew McIntyre? I can't really think of somebody. And then the Miz Money in the Bank cash-in is always looming as well. But I think the roster is kind of thin. Don't get me wrong, they have tons of talent there, but is there a realistic opponent for the 6'5", 260-pound Drew McIntyre? Is there a credible heel that we want to see him go against? Is there a reason for us to care about anyone that he faces? We'll see in the next coming weeks. So then we had the I guess we'll call it the match of the night, the Women's Royal Rumble, and there was a lot of good spots in this Rumble. I was actually very impressed, because when I watch these things nowadays from a smart perspective, it's got to be really difficult to book these type of Rumbles. How you did, like, first you have to line everybody up, 1 through 30, and then you have to have everyone have a spot, and everyone has to be in the right spots. And the interactions we got to see in the Rumble, some callbacks as far as Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. We had the Iconics reunion for a little bit, and it was very entertaining. I really like the fact that Bayley came in at number 1. I just love Bayley. Bayley's such a great wrestler, great heel, great character. And I mean, one thing I noticed that I don't think a lot of people are really talking about, but Rhea Ripley looked good. She was obviously one of the last to be out. But I felt that she sold a little too much for everybody. I kind of like to see Rhea Ripley just look strong and not be really falling down. She just seems like a badass. So I think she sold a little bit too much, but yeah, I think she could have protected herself a little bit better by just really not selling too much or just staying out the way. And the timing with her, I think was it when Charlotte got in? Yeah, when Charlotte initially got in with the momentum, she just knocked down Rhea Ripley, and I think they could have just waited a little bit, especially since we know what the ending was going to be. It was going to be Bianca, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley. Victoria was back. She was in there for like a good 15 minutes, just going ham. It was good to see her. We got to see Jillian and Jilly and Billy of the Iconics. They have to give more stuff. They have to give more. They have to give Billy Kay more to do because she's not the best wrestler, but she's just a really, really funny, entertaining character, and we got to definitely see more of her. What other bright spots were there in the Rumble? Who looked good? Well, let's get right into it. Bianca Belair making history as an African American Royal Rumble winner. That's huge. That the companies, they're putting the rocket behind her, and just to see like the raw emotion in her victory speech, and I think that's something that we all can appreciate. Wrestling, of course, as you know, as we all know. I hope you guys know in 2021, wrestling is predetermined, but there are those real moments and all those real spots. At the end of the day, it's predetermined, but it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a connection with the audience. It takes a lot of effort. It takes talent to get in that spot to become a Royal Rumble winner. So the fact that she accomplished it and the fact that the company is putting investment in her and the company believes in her, that's a real moment that tells you that this is real hard work, and this real hard work has finally paid off. So kudos to Bianca Belair. Rhea Ripley will have her day. I guess she's going to fight Charlotte again once that Lacey Evans fiasco is over. But I think WWE had the right choice with picking Bianca Belair, and I guess we'll see Sasha versus Bianca at WrestleMania, and I think the fans might be split on that one. I think the fans are really going to be split on who they want to root for on that one. So, next up was the Universal Championship between the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, the most loved man in WWE now. His character work is just great. So, we have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. And like I said in previous episodes, Kevin Owens has really freaking elevated himself. I just think it's kind of like the wrong feud for him. But I really like the booking of this match. It was a very interestingly booked match. They were able to get really creative with this. And they went ham in this. It's just really unfortunate that the infamous botch by Paul Heyman, he just couldn't get the key. He couldn't get the key open in time, the handcuffs open in time. So the ref kind of just stopped counting the 10 count. Oh man, that sucks, because it's like, who thinks of these endings? Because with Roman Reigns, he's stuck to the metal, and at 9 he pushes the ref and knocks out the ref. That's such a great little spot. And then they just couldn't finish it because Heyman couldn't get the key going. That just sucks. But y'all get an A for effort, because that would have been, if the timing was right, that would have been just freaking amazing. But Owens goes down. I don't know where he goes from this, because A, he wasn't in the Rumble. B, he definitely has elevated from this feud. But where does he go from here? Who does he feud with? I don't know where, and he's a babyface too. So who the heck does he fight with? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Who do you think would be a good feud for Kevin Owens right now? Leave you some comments in the comment section. Discuss that. So from there, we have the main events. We have the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble. Edge is number one. It's great to see Edge back in a WWE ring. Randy Orton at number two. Randy Orton disappears forever with an injury. And this Rumble was good. It made you really forget that we have a whole pandemic going on, and it was pure entertainment. I saw reactions from people just marking out all over the place. Christian came back. That was freaking awesome. The hug that they embraced each other in the middle of the ring, and that's again another one of those real moments that you have two real best friends who grew up in Canada, who had dreams of being WWE superstars, and then they did it. And then you have Edge, who is sitting in the ring and he wins it. That's such a real moment again, because it's like it's so much reality goes into that. Unfortunately, Keith Lee could not make the Rumble, as some of you guys have probably deduced that Mia Yim had caught the virus. So obviously they're dating. So Keith Lee had to miss the Royal Rumble. So, but hey, I mean, I'm sure WWE would have did something silly with him. Maybe almost would have took him out or something like that. But maybe Keith Lee fights Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. That we can go for that. But again, who do we root for? Someone has to lose and someone has to win. So, Matt Riddle, they gave him the rub in this Rumble. I'm not really big on Matt Riddle. I just don't. I don't know. I don't really like this. He just doesn't do it for me. He's a good athlete, but I can do without his gimmick. And then the dark horse, everyone's dark horse, Daniel Bryan. He had a great showing. You could tell, like, Daniel Bryan's like he's just a company guy. He was kind of giving everybody the rub and selling for everybody and making sure everyone shines and looks good. So good for Daniel Bryan. And then he had like a little feud, it seemed like, with Seth Rollins. So maybe that's something that can come out of it. I think we'd all agree that a Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan feud would be pretty entertaining. It's much better than a Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio's family feud. So, and then Big E was a lot of people's favorite to win. They just took him out by almost. I liked the AJ Styles spots where they keep on trying to knock him out and almost catches him every single time. But overall, I would say the Rumble was just it was a great show. Makes me excited for Raw. Makes me excited for the most wonderful time of the year, WrestleMania season. But how did you guys enjoy this Rumble? Let me know in the comment sections. It's about 7:46 Eastern time, so we have to get ready for Raw in 15 minutes. I will be back tomorrow with a Raw review. Leave me some love. Let me know what you guys think of the videos. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see. This is an experience that I need help from you guys, and let me know what type of videos you want to see. When it comes to pro wrestling. But I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Jared Never Sleeps, and it's still real to me, damn it. Go check out Raw.